Why I create a manifesto for the unseen artists, the quiet rebels, the fire starters. They ask with furrowed brows, confused by the very premise. Promoters, publishers, marketers, even friends. People who've spent their lives measuring worth in currency, success in sales, impact in applause. To them, work without profit is a waste. Creativity without commerce is a fool's errand. And to that I say this: I do not write for wealth. I write to leave something behind that cannot be erased. Stories outlive empires. Ideas outlast kings. A single whispered truth can survive centuries of silence. The world we stand upon wasn't built solely by rulers. It was built by dreamers, by rebels, by those who dared to speak when silence was safer. I do not create to entertain. I create to shatter, to awaken, to ignite something in the hearts of those who have forgotten what it means to burn. Let others chase money, status, and the fleeting security of gold stacked upon gold. Let them build their kingdoms in contracts, algorithms, and applause. I don't need that. I need fire. I need words that will outlast my bones. I need to write things that shake people awake, that make them feel, that make them question the world they've been taught to accept. Because a world that no longer feels is a world already lost. I write for the broken, for the unheard, for the ones who stare into the dark and wonder if anyone else is out there. I write for hands that tremble from hunger, for voices that crack with fear, for children who still believe in magic before the world convinces them it isn't real. I write because injustice still breathes, because silence is still a weapon, and I will not wield it. Some call this foolish. They say the world is too far gone, that it won't be moved by something as fragile as a story, as fleeting as a sentence. But what if they're wrong? What if, right now, someone is waiting for a single word to unlock the part of themselves they buried? What if there's a soul on the edge of collapse and one line, just one, pulls them back? What if the right words, at the right time, tip the scales in a way I'll never see? I do not need to witness the revolution to know I lit the match. I do not need to see the harvest to know I've sown the seed. This path is brutal. It will not reward you. It will not comfort you. It will not promise ease. It demands sacrifice and silence, battles fought without witness, wounds endured without recognition. It will ask you to pour your soul into something that may never be understood by a world obsessed with profit. And still, I march forward. I do not create for recognition. I do not write for fame. I do this because the alternative is a world where no one dares to try. So to those who ask why I do not measure my work in profits, I give this answer, clear as fire and sharp as steel. My measure is in the minds I awaken, the hearts I set alight, the unseen ripples that stretch beyond my lifetime. That is worth more than any fortune. The world I dream of may never arrive in my lifetime. But what if it does? What if the scales tip even slightly because I dared to believe? And so I write, I create, I strive, not because it is easy, not because it is certain, but because it is necessary. Because the future is still unwritten, and every word, every act of defiance has the power to shape it. This is my calling. This is my war. This is why I will never stop.